Hey guys, I hope you're doing well. I hope you had a great week so far. My Thursday was not as bad as expected. A couple of things didn't go as planned, so it became an awesome off night, which is great. But I want to get to the point. Something that I think, always trying to share tool, training tips, food tips, mindset stuff. The one thing that I want to share with you is as a tool, give this to you to start playing with, is the idea of, and it's, I think an idea that's been spread a lot is the idea of a pebble or something in your pocket, and every time you touch the pebble, you're reminded of something, right? Now, what I want to talk tonight is kind of just a small pebble of advice to do with that. That the things that you do or the things that you want to repeatedly do, in other words, trying to train your mind, your brain, your body to start wanting to do certain things. So you would start seeing things in different ways. And then let me take an example. So I have like what I call like an ice bath, but it's like between 5 and 10 degrees quite cold when it's kept closed. So an ice bath is something people would consider something that's difficult, something that's hard to stick with, and stuff like that. But every time before I had to do or get into the pool, I don't do it as much as I used to, just because my body's recovery is better now, getting kind of used to what I've been doing the last couple of months and years. So, but I still need it every now and again. And if I'm in a point where I can feel I need it, immediately I change my mind about it. So I don't see it the way other people would see it, as a challenge, inconvenient, or whatever word comes to mind when you think about an ice bath or dipping in an ice bath. And I'm saying ice bath, just very cold, any very cold bath to try and bring the inflammation down in your body. So I would think of it as my whole body is in pain, my whole body is warm, and that agony, and it really is like that. And that it is so bad that sometimes I get headaches and stuff like that. So what I would do is think about kind of the idea of you being on fire with pain, and the only thing that's going to put the fire out is the water. So it's almost like when you eat something that burns your mouth and you take a sip of milk. How nice is that? So that's kind of how it feels when I do an ice bath, just because I, I, I think about it that way. It's almost like the placebo effect, where if somebody had to tell you you're drinking cream soda and you're drinking Fanta, you don't realize, or whatever, certain things that people play around. But at the end of the day, not one of the things, but that's just a small example of one thing that I do that I've changed my mind about, just because that's the way I see it, if that makes any sense. So use that. Another thing I did for the gym is I would always have small rituals that I would attire before and after the gym that I really enjoy. Small things that I attach value to while I'm at the gym, that again, I sometimes I create the craving for it, so that my body and my mind craves that activity. So think about your day, think about the things you do, think about what you could possibly do to make it a little bit nicer, or to add a small treat. It's almost like you're training a dog with treats to do something. It's almost like that. That you give yourself something like these little rituals I have before and after training, or whatever. Those are the things that I get excited to do, whatever the hard work is that's lying ahead, because I know I'm going to get this small little ritual thing. It's like, it's not that I think about it, it's my body is already in anticipation for it. So you can really change your mind by just changing the way you think about things, or the way that you approach problems. Okay, so that's in a short message. It's a very, I think fucking people could write books about just that idea of, I'm 100% sure there's books on that. So me just explaining it in short is not here. It's a very deep, it's something you would study and work on for years. It's not something that, oh, that's great, I'm going to start doing that tomorrow, and then 2 weeks later you're fucking doing it all. That's not how it's going to work. But if I plant the seed and you start to just think about that, then maybe problems come along your route, and all of a sudden you can manage it a little bit better just because of your perception of the issue, the problem, or the inconvenience. Okay, so just a little bit about that. Have a great night, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.